Good morning. Our hand today is going to be pocket queens. In this hand, we are in the hijack and low jack. Open raises 3.5 big blinds. He's playing 16-6. This guy looks like he is a fairly passive player, fairly tight. Limped in 9, so 10 different hands over 116. Those are almost all from early position, 2 from mid position. Raise first in. He's raised from the button, from small blind. This guy's looking pretty tight. I don't think we go off at any sort of stats other than to say this could be his his raising range, 5%. I think he has limping hands. That increases, how many hands he actually plays, but I'm going to say this is probably his raising range. So I characterize this player as being tight. Because he's tight, our 3-bet range is going to be tighter. So this is versus like a standard 3-betting range. Jacks plus ace queen, ace 5 suited. But versus a tight player, we're really just pushing down more premium hands here. So I raised up to 10, which I think is good raise size, and then villain 4-bets us. And at this point, I think this just eliminates his hands big time, just to aces and kings. I think that's all that he has. I can't even say he has ace king. I think that's all he has. A player like this, definitely just aces and kings, which means we have to call 6.5 big blinds to really just catch trips. We are deep, and we're getting more than 4-1 on the call. Not necessarily the odds that we need, but I'm kind of thinking if he has kings and an ace flops, he's going to be scared and he'll probably fold it. If he has aces, then all that we can really hope for is to hit queens or to flop something scary, maybe like king 10 or queen. Queens help us, but some like high pair board that could conceivably give us trips if we had like an ace queen, king queen type hand. I did call. I think that's probably correct. Flop comes out jack high, misses us. I'm thinking I'm going to probably have to fold to a bet because I really put him on aces or kings. And, with that bet, I should be folding because that's what I put him on. But if I think this player's playing like queens and ace king, queens plus ace king, and queens could be easily, like 50%. Let's do that. Not everyone does that. Something like that. Then, if we think he's going to c-bet again, then we should go ahead and call. Because the idea is if he c-bets here, we call, and then he's going to slow down if he has ace-king. But if he barrels again on the turn, he's going to have aces or kings. He's going to have us crushed. I believe at the time I called. And I think if he has this range, I think the call is appropriate. But as I look at his stats today and review this, I don't think he's going to be that loose. I think it's strictly aces and kings, and that's all he has. And we missed. I think this is probably just going to be a fold. Fold to that bet. We made it. And again, if there's any chance that he has ace king and he can do this with ace king, then I think we can have a call. So, it's one of these things. If he does it with 100% of his range, then I think we need to be calling with all of our overpairs. And probably if we have like a 2-card backdoor, like ace king, ace queen, maybe call those with the idea again that if he has ace king and the turn is a low card, he's probably just going to check because he's going to be afraid that we have a pair. So queen comes out. I think that's great card for us. Villain check. So this is where I'm thinking at this point he probably has He could easily have ace king. Could easily have ace king, in which case if I bet, he's probably just going to fold. However, if he has ace king, maybe he calls to go for the straight. So I bet, and I actually shoved all in. Pot 68.9. I think this is kind of an interesting play, because it kind of mimics the whole, we're going to check, or we're going to make a light call, and then if villain checks to us on the turn, we're going to go ahead and fire a sizable bet, fairly big, a bigger bet, because he's going to have a hard time calling it if he doesn't have anything. In this case, our stack size is, so the pot 68.9. If we go half pot, that's 35. That's going to leave a little bit more than half pot on the river. I did this because one, I've got trips, but also I think it applies maximum pressure. And maybe it might look like a bluff and maybe get ace king to call once. He does call. So at this point, once. So in terms of our bet, it could be 100% that we're gonna be shoving with. Probably not so much aces or kings. I think I would probably go down lower. I think our big bet's gonna be this set. Basically the queens, and then probably, gosh, maybe the gut shot, that ace king. And I don't even think it would be all of them. I think I would pick just one hand, one of those. Maybe the diamond, to say we're gonna shove, just to kind of balance. He calls when he calls. I think at this point I'm just giving him aces and kings. That's it. King comes out. I'm terrified. I'm thinking, oh crud. Let's hope he has aces. He shows aces. So, which is good, which is in his range. Again, I think a player like this, he is, as I look through his stats, I think it's very clearly aces or kings. That's probably the only hands that he does this with. But in session, I don't think I looked at these stats too much. I saw 16-6 and assumed he would have ace king. So that was kind of a poor read at the time. Definitely we'll take a note. So I have somewhat loose aggressive, willing to shove, all in pre-flop with the pocket pair. Probably shoves all in with top pair, plus. I don't know. Only if in blind, if only if or SB. Stat suggests tight, passive. Yeah, I think this. Yep, stat suggests tight passive play. Rarely RFI. There. All right, took notes. If I see this player, I won't make the same mistake. Play it a little bit more straightforward. With queens, we could easily have just folded pre-flop, and that's probably what we should do if we estimate they only have aces or kings. Even with 4-1, 4.5-1, we're not getting the odds to flop trips. I got lucky. All right, hopefully you enjoy this. If you do, look tomorrow for another.